Welcome viewers to another exciting episode of Canadian Mosaic on Awaz Entertainment. I'm your new host Prashanth, and I'm super excited for this episode as we will be speaking to a very talented artist and a friend who truly exemplifies what it means to showcase Canadian culture, diversity, inclusion, and multiculturalism. Tonight, our episode is going to be called Unity in Diversity, Desi Fusion. I have the privilege of speaking to Sarah Wickett, who is a Canadian musician that has recently taken up the music industry by storm with a very unique genre called Desi pop country. Sarah is a talented country singer from Beaverton, Ontario. She went to school for journalism and has pursued a career in music and has released many songs so far. Recently, she has explored into a genre known as Desi pop country, which is very unique and it's something that you don't hear every single day. Welcome, Sarah, to Awaz Entertainment. We are really excited to have you as part of the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
So Sarah, tell us a little bit about what triggered you into looking into combining Punjabi culture with country music, because this is not something that you hear every single day. I'm sure there's some reasons behind why you went into this type of genre. So tell us a bit about your music and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I've been living in Toronto for the past 5-ish years, and over the past couple years I've had the opportunity to connect with a lot of Desi people. It kind of just started through work, and then naturally I was going to a lot of their festivals, and I love a lot of their traditions, and Punjabi was just one of the languages that I really started to fall in love with. So I actually started taking Punjabi lessons about a year-ish ago, and I also started listening to the music. So naturally, not really naturally, I just one day thought of an idea where I could potentially mash up country music and Punjabi music, and I'm not even really sure where that idea came from, but I went to my producers and asked if it was even possible to do something like that, and they were totally down. And yeah, we just kind of went with it.
That is super exciting. But so Sarah, walk us through your journey of how you wanted to become a musician in the first place, because it takes a lot of effort in order to kind of become a musician yourself. And you've done a lot of successful singles so far. So tell us a bit about how your journey has been so far. So I know you released something last year and a bunch of other songs years before that. So can you talk us through what it was like to kind of, venture into the space of the music industry?
Yeah, I've been singing since I was very young. I grew up performing. I first started out in figure skating, then I did professional dancing, and my parents also put me in vocal lessons. I was really shy as a kid, so I wouldn't even be able to sing in front of my parents. I'd have to face the wall and sing in front of my family, which is hilarious. But I just always had this burning passion inside me to be a performer. Like when I was in my room alone, I would sing my heart out and dance my heart out, and as soon as my parents knocked on the door, I'd be like, I wasn't doing anything in here. But I just always really wanted to do it and loved it. And so putting me in singing lessons, my parents did that kind of to give me confidence to sing in front of people, and I was starting to do competitions, and then I also started doing the YouTube thing. So back then YouTube covers were huge. You just set up a camera in your room and sang and put it online and see what people thought. So I did that, and that kind of really pushed me to want to actually do it professionally.
Absolutely. No, that's an exciting story because, music is something, it sounds like you're actually following your passions. So, which is really rare to do because, oftentimes people have these interests and they have their day job and things like that. So it's really inspiring to see someone that's really toned into music and really trying to take it further. So have you thought more about what else you want to do in the music industry? Because I understand that you released something new, which we'll get into a little bit later. But have you thought about what else you would like to do in the creative space? Because you need to have a creative mindset in the space. And I know that you write your own songs and a few other things. So what else do you want to do moving forward from this point onwards?
Yeah, I feel like I'm already doing so much. I don't know what other new things I could start at the moment, but I do really enjoy vlogging, so I do a lot of YouTube vlogging. I also edit a lot of my own stuff. I'm an independent artist, so my job is basically everything under the sun for my music career at the moment. I do really enjoy editing and everything, so I edited the music video that I think we're going to see later, which is really exciting, and it makes me super proud of all the projects that I've not only filmed, directed, but also edited and put together and then also put out.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot for a musician to handle in one person, right? So that's really inspiring. And so when I think this is something completely new, the whole Punjabi aspect of this, right? So when you talked about this with your producers and your audience and things like that, what was the first reaction from everybody? So this is not common. I personally have not have seen this. I've seen fusions done. So for example, Akon did a music video in the Bollywood industry, but this is very specific, like Punjabi and country music. These are very different. I think they're very different. But from your music and the way it sounds, there's a lot of commonalities from what I can tell. So what was the first reaction, like let's say producers and the initial reaction from your audience? So what was that experience like?
Yeah, my producers are always so supportive. So even though I kind of thought it was a little crazy, they were definitely like, wait, it could happen, we could do it. Like, I feel like there's a lot of similar instruments, and although they seem like they're on completely different ends of the spectrum, like a sitar kind of sounds like a banjo, and like they can kind of sound similar. And I also have a country song that's just straight country, no Punjabi in it. And now that I've been releasing some of these other songs, it's kind of starting to sound a little bit Punjabi as well. But yeah, everyone's been relatively supportive for the most part, and yeah, it's been great. You divulged into my next question. So you talked about sitar and guitar. So that means that you also play your own songs using guitar. Have you considered like other instruments as well, like something like a sitar, or perhaps other genres that's out there, maybe like ukulele or something like that too? Is that something that you're explored, or you have this interest? So I do play guitar. I've always wanted to learn piano. I can play a little bit, but just mostly scales and stuff to warm up. But it takes a lot of patience. I fortunately had guitar class in school, so that's kind of what motivated me to learn guitar, because not only was I learning an instrument I could sing with, but I had to pass and learn at the same time. So I've tried to learn piano a few times, but it's like you get to a certain point and you're just like, oh, this is so hard. Kind of like learning Punjabi as well.
Of course, of course. I mean, next question is, what's the journey been like? Because how long have you been wanting to learn Punjabi, and how is the progress so far?
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of easy. It was a lot easier at the beginning, which I guess makes sense because you're just learning the basics. But now I'm at a point where I'm learning a lot of complex things, and it's very difficult, and I'm really, really busy right now, obviously because of summer. So it's been hard to kind of balance everything, and when you're not doing a lesson every couple days, you kind of lose it a little bit. You start to not remember. But it's been good.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. So who has been the most inspirational for you and kind of supported you along this journey? Because I mean, you must have a lot of critics that are going positive, negative, and there's always highs and lows, right? So what would you say who's been like supportive from day one and probably continuously, like even till today? Like who are the people that have really been behind you and supporting you as an artist?
Of course, my parents. They're my number one, and they support every single thing that I do, no matter how crazy it is. And no matter what I try to ask them to do for me, they're always at every music video shoot, like everything. My mom will cancel her hairdressing appointments just to be there for me, so they're really great. Also, my producers, I have to thank them. They're always so supportive, and we just have such great talks that are really inspiring. And even when I'm starting to feel like maybe this isn't something that I should be doing, or I need to ask them a question or something, they're always there for me. So I really appreciate them.
That's wonderful. And if you are a parent that's watching your daughter right now, so she's doing an excellent job at just killing it right now with a very unique genre. So I think we want to divulge into something that you've released, Sarah. So Sarah's new release is called Mama's Boy. I want to get into a little bit of that and to see, can you tell us a little bit about that song? What inspired you? And I believe you've just released the song a couple of days ago, and the music video is actually launched today, which you will get to take a look a little bit later. So what inspired you about this song, and can you tell us a little bit about the song?
Yeah, so the song is a country Punjabi mix. So I am singing a little bit of Punjabi in it, and the inspiration kind of came from a past relationship. It's just basically talking about cultural differences and how we basically just struggled because of family expectations, and just how hard that can be on a relationship. So that's pretty much what it's about.
Absolutely. I think it's a nice way to showcase that, is because I believe music really connects a lot of people together. And coming from a Canadian background is we do talk about diversity and inclusion and kind of things like that, right? So it's really nice to see some of the lyrics, when you hear the song, you'll see this is actually something quite common that you see everywhere. And so it's a great example of that. So is there specific aspects? I mean, I know the song has released a couple of days right now. So how have the reviews been? Have you been, and I'm sure you've gotten a lot of positivity, and there's probably some critics as well. So how has the response been so far?
Yeah, I feel like people are a bit confused, which is natural. I feel like when something's new and different, people don't really know how to react, which is completely normal. But there's been a lot of positivity and support, which has been great. The music video, like you said, came out today, and the support on that has just been overwhelming. It's been super nice. So.
That's amazing. So for the folks that are, listening to Sarah for the very first time, definitely check out her music and what she has to offer. And there's a lot of uniqueness behind it as well too. So definitely take a look. So going back to some of the other songs that you've done, Sarah, without the Punjabi aspect of it. So what are some things that you can share about that? So what inspired you to do these other songs as well? Because I personally have listened to all of them, and there's so many things that I can talk about. So can you pick maybe one of the songs that what your favorite, and kind of talk us through how that journey was, both the music video as well as the song as well, the release and everything that's happened as well.
Yeah, so before 2020, I was performing a lot and I was still releasing music and stuff, but I feel like I didn't really know what direction I wanted my music to go, and I was just kind of releasing songs and didn't really have a super big focus, I guess. My songs were all different and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I took a couple of years off, and then the pandemic hit. So if I knew the pandemic was going to hit, I probably wouldn't have taken a couple of years off performing, but yeah. I did that. And I focused on my songwriting, and then in 2020, during the pandemic, I was able to record and write a lot of some of the best songs, in my opinion, that I've ever released. So I was really fortunate to do that. And again, I started working with these new producers who are great. So I've released a lot of music over the past year or two. My favorite, oh my gosh, I don't even know. Excuse me. I released a song called Friday Night In. It was the second song of 2020. We were still kind of in that pandemic era. And so I felt like I didn't write the song during the pandemic, but it was a perfect time to release it because it's called Friday Night In, and it's basically just about how I would rather stay in on a Friday night with my girls or with my man than go out and party and not remember the next day and not know who I'm bringing home and all of that stuff. So we didn't really do a music video for that, but I did do a lyric video for that, and I basically I did it all myself. I compiled a bunch of videos that I had of like past partying stages of my life and just kind of threw the lyrics on top of it, and it was just a really fun video to edit, so it's just reminiscing on all the fun times that we used to have before COVID.
Absolutely, no, for sure. And I think, like, growing up, we always have different aspects of who we are, and that kind of transcribes into music. Because if you go a little bit deeper into music, it's really what you feel on the inside, the emotions and everything like that, that really comes out into play. And it's a privilege, just being an artist, because you can actually share that with a larger audience, which is not easy to do. It requires a lot of work, and it's not easy. So Sarah, talking about the pandemic, right? So has the pandemic affected you in any way? Because it has been difficult for artists that are trying to do live performances and things like that. But I mean, from a production perspective, can you walk us through a little bit about what you felt about how the pandemic has affected you, both from a music production perspective as well as maybe perhaps the in-person concerts and things like that? Because for the longest time that was not allowed until recently. So can you talk us a little bit about for the last maybe a year and a half to 2 years or so?
Yeah, obviously the music industry has been heavily affected by COVID, and there were no concerts for about a year and a half, and I feel like we're still kind of struggling to come back. But that was pretty much the only aspect of my career that was affected, thankfully. I do focus a lot on my social media and getting content and making sure I have all of that stuff. So I was still able to do that, which was really nice. And fortunately enough, my producers have a home studio that I go record at, so it was safe for us to continue to do that. And I was writing virtually with people, which obviously was a change as well, because usually you get together and write in person, but we were doing it virtually. It was still really cool. Met a lot of people that I probably wouldn't have met either way, because they're from like Nashville or Montreal or wherever they were from. But yeah, so the only thing that really changed was the performance aspect, which sucked because that's a lot of fun.
So one question, I was going to save this for later, but so if you had to give advice to the younger version of yourself, so let's say dial the clocks back maybe 10 years or so, what would you say to that person, keeping in mind that there might be other Sarahs out there, there might be other young artists that are like, looking at this video, hey, I want to be Sarah, I want to try something different, I want to say something new. So is there anything that you want to say to your younger self, as well as people that have a similar kind of passion and interest to yourself?
Yeah, chasing after my dream wasn't always easy for me. I feel like when I was younger, and when I actually decided that I wanted to start doing it more professionally, I got into YouTube and stuff, I was bullied a lot, so that kind of affected me quite a bit. I would come home crying some days. I feel like I would just tell my younger self that high school doesn't really matter, and the mean girls don't really matter. You know, if it's your passion and you have that burning urge to pursue it, then just do it and try not to let the haters affect you.
Absolutely, because you know that's a topic of the show, is because you know we are trying to promote diversity, inclusion, multiculturalism, right? So this is something that exists everywhere, and I think we have to be mindful of the fact that this is something that's happening, and we need to be careful of what others pursue of us, and just make sure that it doesn't affect our day-to-day lives, right? So that's amazing that you're willing to share that. It's a common thing that everybody goes through, and if you're watching the show and this is something you're experiencing, just remember that you're not alone, right? Like this happens to everybody. I'm sure we've experienced this in one way or form. So so we'll be right back after a short commercial break, where we will have another guest from Mama's Boy joining us for the remainder of the show. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Canadian Mosaic, and our discussion today is around unity in diversity, Desi Fusion. With us today, we have a special guest. His name is Jay Rajpal, who is a aspiring lawyer and a supportive boyfriend who has debuted as part of the first ever music video. So thank you, Jay, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
For sure. So tell us about your experience so far, because we understand that you are a lawyer by day, and then you are doing this, you did this video recently. So tell us a little bit about your journey of how you stumbled upon a music video with Sarah.
Yeah, lawyer by day, actor by night, I guess. Right? Didn't really stumble on it. She said she was looking for someone, and I ended up just filling the role, Her requirement was someone that had abs. I didn't fulfill that requirement. But, by process of elimination, I ended up being there, and I had a blast. Yeah. It was so much fun doing it.
Yeah, so I mean, the video looks great. I'm sure the viewers are eager to see what the video is like. So going back to Sarah, tell us about this music video that is released today. What is the concept behind it? So I understand the title is called Mama's Boy. So what is it all about? And tell us a little bit about the video itself, because that's something that's being launched today, and the viewers will get to see it a little bit later.
Yeah. Excuse me. So I wanted two interracial couples in the video to kind of showcase two completely different relationships, but they're still going through the same issue, because I feel like the topic of discussion is pretty common in relationships and in all different kinds of backgrounds, no matter where you come from. So I wanted two interracial couples, and it kind of just shows us being in love and then us fighting, and I also just wanted it to look like a country video. So we filmed it in an abandoned barn, most of the performance scenes. We were trying not to fall through the floor, honestly. There was a lot of holes in it.
Yeah. Lots of hay, lots of mosquitoes.
Yeah, lots of raccoon poo as well. It was fun. But yeah, we found a corner of the barn, and it was just perfect. There was stacks of hay there, and I had the two guys right beside me, and then I was in the middle kind of just doing the performance shots, and they looked great. And then there was some stuff with me performing with just Jay, and then Rashmeen, the other actress in the video, was dancing around the other guy as well. And then we also did a truck scene where I'm performing, and Rashmeen, the other actress, and the other actor, his name is Braden, were kind of acting in there as well.
I see. So when you explain this concept to Jay, so what did Jay think about this? Was he I'm so down, or is he I don't know, was he just I'm down, I gotta do this with you?
I'll answer that first.
Yeah, go ahead. You're both of you.
Can you tell me what he really thought?
Sure.
When I asked him, he was a little hesitant.
Yep.
Because he doesn't have, he looks great.
Like I said, lawyer by day, actor by night.
I wanted a handsome guy. He fulfilled that role. But the song is kind of controversial and not necessarily a love song. And we talked about him being in a music video of mine that was more of a love song for the first kind of video we did together. Which is, this one is the opposite of that. And it is about a past relationship. So taking that into consideration, we were really debating whether it was a good idea to have Jay in the video. And ultimately we just decided, kind of by process of elimination, I did ask around, but we couldn't really find a lot of people, and just because of COVID as well, it was safer to do it this way because I've been spending a lot of time with him, obviously.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we just kind of decided that it was the best route to go. And if I was singing the song about him, he probably wouldn't want to be in the video anyways. So I hope people don't think that it's about him because it's not.
Yeah. No, if it was about me, I definitely wouldn't be acting in it.
Yeah.
That's a conflict of interest.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, she got it pretty much right on got the nail right on the head. You know, I didn't really want to be in it. I'm busy with my own life as well, and then this sort of came in, and I'm like, yeah, okay, fine. If you can't find anybody, okay, sure, I'll do it. I don't mind, you know. That's the supportive boyfriend part of it too.
That's wonderful. So Jay, like, I mean, so you're coming from a lawyer background.
Yes.
How has your family and friends have reacted to this video? So I know the video just got released in the last few hours. I'm sure you've gotten some feedback already. So what does your mama say about this?
My phone's been blowing up since the morning. You know, I've been getting people messaging me, phone calls saying, I just watched it twice in a row with my dad. You know, so overall, just a pretty overwhelmingly good feedback and good experience, and you know, everyone's been supportive with it, which is great because I had absolutely no idea what I was doing, and I think the overall result and the end result came out pretty well.
Amazing. So does that mean that we're going to see more of you in the music industry with Sarah perhaps, or with other people in the industry?
Do you want to answer that one first? I've asked her to give me a rap verse in her next song, and I don't think I'm getting it anytime soon.
You need to work on your rapping first.
Yeah, that's fair.
You have to provide me with the stuff, and then we can see.
Yeah. Maybe Prashanth and I can have a rap off.
Oh wow!
You can pick
and I'm pulling me in there as well. I'm down if you guys are into it. So wait, so Jay, on a serious note, like, are you a singer?
Oh, absolutely not. Outside the shower, no. Inside the shower, still no. I do not have a singer's voice. I don't even have rhythm. I can't dance. I really fail to understand how I ended up in this situation. But you know what? Here I am, and I'm just making the most of it.
Let's ask Sarah that question. Is what Jay's saying is true? Is he not a singer? Like, is he? Like, I mean, I've seen the video. It looks fantastic. So, what do you think of it? The end product? Like, is Jay an artist on the inside?
I think he was actually very surprising. He was really good with his acting, better than I am. He was really good. But yeah, I feel like you could talk maybe a little bit about this, but you kind of always wanted to get into YouTube and doing videos and stuff.
That's true.
As well, so maybe that's where it came out of.
Yeah, I've always had this idea, you know, just growing up with YouTube sort of emerging and vloggers and everyone coming, not necessarily to fame, but just enjoying their time filming and putting content out on YouTube. I guess I grew up in that era, and I've always wanted to sort of be in that position as well. You know, filming, vlogging, doing stuff, not really knowing what I'm putting out there, but I just thought the concept of it was kind of cool. And I never really took out the time from my own life to actually, you know, put any effort into starting that up. And then I met Sarah, and I'm like, well, this is great. If anything, I can just stand on her shoulders and try to live the experience that I couldn't actually fulfill myself. Yeah. So, you know, like, we've got a vlog out on her YouTube channel where we go camping. Yeah. And that was probably my first time on camera in a vlogging capacity like that. And again, I had a blast doing it the same way I did with the music video. That was a lot of fun. So I am living the dream.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, you're literally kind of just changing from the corporate side into a whole artist industry as well. So how does this compare with what you do on a day-to-day basis? Because, you know, you are a lawyer. You deal with a whole bunch of different issues and things like that on a day-to-day basis. How does this type of work compare to your day-to-day job, where you are dealing with a lot of, you know, things that we talked about as the theme of the show is, you know, diversity, inclusion, whole bunch of things within Canada, right? So do you see some overlaps between the artist industry and the corporate law area, or what is your take on all of this?
Well, just to clarify a little bit, I'm still an aspiring lawyer. I haven't actually qualified just yet, but I'm working towards my qualification in Ontario, and hopefully sometime in the near future I'll have that, and then you can call me a lawyer. But not as yet. And then what I do on a day-to-day basis is, just basic law firm legal stuff on a desk, paperwork, nothing really too exciting. But you do need that break at the end of the day. Absolutely. And while some people can go home and turn on the TV and or start watching YouTube videos, some people take a break by making YouTube videos. And I think I've always sort of leaned towards that side, maybe not always, sitting in front of the TV and watching Netflix for too long. Although I did do that, but it's a bit more fun to actually do some kind of activity. So I've had a lot of fun in my evenings, and whenever I can spare some time to help Sarah out with her channel.
Amazing,
We've
amazing.
been slammed. We've been so busy. We're just
very, very
it's
busy.
insane.
Yeah, no, I can only imagine, because this is a new concept, right? So I think people are excited, and people seeing, there's a Punjabi that's, Punjabi guy that's in a music video with a country style. It's really unique. So Jay, another question for you is, who I asked Sarah this question a little bit earlier. Who has been your biggest inspiration, and on a day-to-day basis? Is it family? Is it friends? Who's your biggest inspiration?
That's a very loaded question. And I know Sarah said her producers and her parents, which is a very fitting answer. So I would also obviously say my parents. My mom, I guess, why not, right? Mama's Boy is the name of the song. My mom is definitely one of the people who I aspire to be like. I actually did see, it must have been a TikTok or something earlier, where someone was asked the same question, and they said, me in 10 years is my inspiration today. And I can't give credit to who that was. I really don't remember, but that's one thing that stuck in my head. So if I can use that as an answer, I definitely would.
No, absolutely. I think moms in general are all of our greatest inspirations, and I think the people around you make you who you are. And on top of that, like I certainly believe that it's all of the journey that you have going through life in general kind of makes you who you are, and your future. Like you've kicked off something really interesting in the creative space. So who knows what's coming? And I guess one more question for you is. What's next for you? Like, are you going to take a break and go back to?
Oh, what's next for me?
Then we'll get to Sarah next.
I've got the solid 5-year plan in my head. Like I need to qualify as a lawyer. I need to actually start up getting experience and get that career on track. And simultaneously, I do want to be doing, like, that could be my 9 to 5, and then my 5 to 9 would be the supportive boyfriend role, where I could be on YouTube in the evenings. I could be doing things like this in the evenings. I think everyone needs a side hustle, and if this can be a side hustle, then great. But that ideally would be my 5 to 9 in the evenings.
No, that's amazing, because I think one of the things that we should really consider, because we just went through a pandemic. Right, so we all need to consider the fact that we all have interests and passions that we need to pursue. And one of the things that this is a fine example of what someone does in a day-to-day job, as well as what he's doing for fun on the side. So Sarah is a full-time artist. So I feel like Jay is an inspiring lawyer, as well as a /YouTuber, vlogger, artist kind of thing, maybe?
You know what, I didn't really have a choice when it came to the music video. I didn't really have a choice when it came to the vlogs. It just so happened that I enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm an aspiring YouTuber too, why not?
I mean, how do you feel about this? So now you have a bit of a reputation to make now, so you've got something interesting. So how do you feel about it? Like, I know you're putting into this because of Sarah and things like that. How do you overall feel right now in this very moment of this interview?
Great. I'm the kind of person that takes life as it comes. So if this was to come and go as fast as it came, it wouldn't make too much of a difference to me. That just means on to the next thing in life and in creativity. But again, like I said, I am enjoying it right now. So obviously I'd like to have it last as long as possible. Whether that means creating a name for myself, like you sort of alluded to and mentioned. I can't really be bothered with that. Again, if it happens, then great. If not, then no big deal. My day-to-day life and the people I'm with are the ones that influence me.
Absolutely.
Not really anybody on the internet or how many followers I have or how many likes I get and things like that.
Because right now you have to get used to the critics, giving you comments and things like that.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that Sarah's kind of used to it in the last little while. So this is something that you have to kind of get used to and things like that too.
Sure.
So has any of your lawyer colleagues or your lawyers have seen the video?
Oh, that's a good question. Not that I know of. Considering it came out this morning, I really just sent it around to friends and family.
Got it.
And when I received comments back, it was mostly just memes and screenshots. Because I'm not sure if you've seen the video yet, considering it came out. You have, there you go. So you know that I end up shoveling a lot of hay with my shirt off in that. And that is a trending meme, at least within my own group chat.
Oh boy, that's very interesting. So we'll dive into a little bit more questions right now. So if there is, so going back to Sarah, if there is one word that you would describe Jay as, what would that be?
Oh, sorry.
The other
The other
two.
person.
You want me to pick one word?
Just one word that describes Jay as a human being, boyfriend, supportive boyfriend, aspiring lawyer, whatever that might be. If it's one word.
Say fantastic.
Supportive. That is his title.
That's a good one.
Supportive. Okay, that you heard it first.
Supportive in every way possible and more than I could ever ask for.
Oh wow.
And you know what? That's what I try to be as well. So at least, if anything, I'm on the right track.
I see. Your turn, Jay.
How would I describe myself? Fantastic.
No, how would you describe Sarah?
Very, very optimistic and driven. If I could put that into one word, hyphenate it maybe, She has a goal, she has a dream, and there has been literally nothing stopping her from getting to it. And that's an attractive quality. That's one thing that really attracted me to her. So definitely very, very driven and very, very optimistic.
Yeah, absolutely. Because this industry is tough. Like I keep talking about this over and over again because it's the creativity. So when creativity meets like passion, I think that's when you're truly happy, right? So Sarah, so would you say? So I know you're doing a lot of different things. Is there something that you wish you'd done earlier, or perhaps you want to do more in the future? Because I know that you're into music production, but has something like film and other things that interest you, or maybe Jay as well too?
I think I've always been interested in acting. I don't know if I'm good at it, but I really enjoy acting in front of the camera when there's music involved.
Yeah.
So I love being in front of the camera. So I think if an acting opportunity came about through music or something like that, I'd probably take that opportunity.
Gotcha.
But I think I've been doing everything that I've wanted to do at a really good pace right now, and I don't think I would have changed anything. I've learned from every experience that I've went through, and I know that everything's meant to be. So
wonderful. So getting a little bit personal, have you ever had a Bollywood crush by any chance?
Ooh, that's a good question.
let me flip that to Jay because he probably has tons right now. So Jay, you know what? Let me make it a little bit more general. So let's do Bollywood as well as Hollywood. So who would you say you've had a crush growing up and like, hey man, like I wish this person was my girlfriend or something?
If anyone knew me in high school, they would know that I had a picture of Aishwarya Rai as my background, and as soon as I'd open up my laptop in English class or anything like that in high school, she would be the first thing that pops up.
Okay.
That would be my motivation to make sure I did great in school, because maybe one day Aishwarya Rai would know I exist.
Okay.
And then she went and married Abhishek Bachchan.
Abhishek Bachchan, yeah.
And that didn't stop me.
Still having a crush, going strong. You know what? We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll listen to Sarah's answer to that, because after the short commercial break, we have an exciting game that I prepared for our guests. It's going to be a little bit interesting to see how they react individually as well as a couple as well. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you for joining us again. So we are accompanied by Sarah Wickett, who is an artist, and Jay Rajpal as well. So before the break, we asked a question about, who is your celebrity crush, either Hollywood or Bollywood? And Jay responded his response as Aishwarya Rai. So now the question is back to Sarah. So Sarah, just continuing the interview, who is your celebrity crush, and tell us why?
I don't think he's Bollywood because he sings Punjabi music, but AP Dillon. I feel like he's been in Brampton a lot. I don't know if he's actually living in Brampton, but he's great. I really love his music. And then if I was to say in Hollywood, there's many times I've wished Shawn Mendes was my boyfriend. Like many times.
I see. I'm going to give you a tough one. So let's say right now it's Jay and Shawn Mendes sitting right beside each other. Who would you go for?
Obviously Jay.
Really, Shawn Mendes? No, he might be broken heart. Maybe Shawn Mendes is a secret fan of you. We never know.
Shawn Mendes?
Shawn Mendes was sitting beside me. I would pick Shawn Mendes.
Hey, he gives you permission, right, Sarah? So it's an interesting. All right, so I have an interesting game that I kind of came up with. You might have heard about this before. So I'm calling it action reaction. So essentially, I'm gonna say a word, and you have to either react to it. So you can either say something, or you can do an action or something like that, right? So for example,
What do you mean?
you can act it out, right? Like if I say a word, you can act it out. You can do whatever you want,
Okay.
right?
All right.
So it'll be a little interesting to see how the artists inside of both Sarah and Jay are now coming out So we'll see it live in action right now. So I'll give you an easy one. Now Sarah can take the easy one right now. If I say the word rodeo, what comes to mind?
Riding horses?
Yes, for sure. Definitely.
I was thinking of an electronic bull, but which is exactly that. Yeah.
There you go. Bull riding and all that makes perfect sense. So I know Jay is Punjabi, so let's gonna test his little bit of a Punjabi as well.
Oh no, I'm not good at Punjabi at
That's
all.
okay. That's okay. Trust me, this is an easy one. I'm pretty sure you know this one. If I say the word patola, what comes to mind?
Me?
Yeah.
Proper patola. Chunni wala swag.
You want to keep going?
That's as far as I go.
I see. Okay, so let's go some easy questions right now. So Punjabi food or Italian, Sarah?
They're so different. Probably Punjabi.
Okay. So Jay, a similar question. Would you say Hakka food versus French food?
Ooh. Given that I lived in Montreal for nearly 5 years, I think that's a bit of a conflict. Oh, I don't even know.
I knew you went to McGill. That's why I asked you that question. Yeah.
You know, my first time having escargot was in Montreal, which is snails. And I liked it. They kind of taste like mushrooms, and I don't really like mushrooms at all. But I think at the end of the day, I would pick good Hakka food, because there's definitely joints you can go to that are not good Hakka food.
Absolutely. So for the folks that's wondering what Hakka food it is, it's Indo-Chinese. So it's a combination of Indian and Chinese together. It's a nice fusion. So Sarah, so I'm not sure if you know the meaning of this word, but do you know what the word gabru means?
Slightly.
Okay, so what does that word, if I say the word gabru, so another word for gabru is, young boy, young hunk kind of thing. So who comes to mind right away if I say the word gabru?
Shawn Mendes.
My brother.
Oh.
My younger brother.
Your younger brother, not Jay?
He's like Tarzan.
Oh, really? Okay, so interesting. So Jay.
Jay's not a Jay. You said young. Jay's older than me.
By a year, barely. Yeah, sure. Okay.
I see. Okay.
I got a few grays in my beard, actually. Why not?
I see.
But I also thought it meant brave man, and my brother's pretty brave.
Okay. So inspiration from your own family. That's inspiring. So Jay, night out or going to the gym?
Night out or going to the gym?
Night out with Sarah or going to the gym?
I could usually do both. I'll go to the gym in the morning and then night out in the evening.
Our night out is going to the gym.
Oh,
sometimes that happens too. Yeah, it was last Friday, I think, or this past Friday. We went to the gym in the evening.
I see. I'm gonna put this question to both of you. Do you guys know what Jakte Fatte mean?
Yeah.
What comes to mind when you hear the word Jakte Fatte?
Okay, I can't give you the direct translation, but it's
no. What comes to mind?
Bhangra, balle balle. Playing cricket.
From?
I think there's a Bollywood movie called Chakte Fatte.
Yes.
Right?
Chakte India is another one.
That's what I was thinking of. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, so Sarah, what that means is you can do it. It's like a motivation factor. So it's you can do this kind of thing. Going back to Sarah, I know you know a bunch of artists in the industry. So do you have a favorite? Okay, let me say Diljit or Honey Singh?
Diljit.
Do you have a response to that as well? Diljit or Honey Singh?
Definitely
Diljit. Okay,
Diljit,
so Diljit fans over here. So Diljit, my man.
Yeah. I feel like a traitor saying that actually, but I'll stick with it. Yo Honey Singh was pretty cool.
Okay.
a little bit better.
Yeah. Okay. His Mama's Boy music video is kind of inspired by I can't remember which song it was.
By Diljit.
It might have been Goat, the music video. I don't remember if that was the song, but he's on a road with a car, and we originally were going to have a motorcycle in the video. So there was some inspiration from my video drawn from some of his.
Got you. So we're almost wrapping up this interview, and this was a pleasure speaking to both of you. So final question for both of you actually. So What's next? So you've released a song today, Sarah. So what's next in your agenda of the music industry? Are you working on more singles, more albums, more videos? So what's in it for, what's coming up so the viewers can kind of follow you and kind of keep, follow your journey of becoming a successful artist?
Yeah, I definitely want to get back in the studio. I'm really excited to be focusing on Mama's Boy probably for the rest of the year. We do have some really cool plans for it. I did originally want a female Punjabi artist on the song, so that might potentially be in the works. So that's really exciting. If that's the case, we'll have to, record a verse for her again. And all that. And then, yeah, next year, hopefully I'll be putting out an EP, getting back in the studio, recording some more, and lots of vlogging. Winter is for vlogging because everything kind of slows down, so I'm excited to start editing and stuff again.
Exciting. Honestly, this is such a great way into the fall because, fall right now is back to school for people. It's back to work for a lot of people who are in the pandemic. So this is really exciting because, we want to hear new music. We want to hear something new. We want to hear something different and unique. So that's what this whole channel is about Canadian music is to bring in diversity, culture, and really showcase what it truly means to be Canadian as well. So Jay, I'll give you that opportunity as well. So you being an aspiring lawyer and a supportive boyfriend, probably a part-time artist, what is your next steps looking like in life?
Next steps in life, wow. Well, I guess two separate paths which are just running parallel, right? Aspiring lawyer has its own checklist of things, and aspiring, or supportive boyfriend rather, has its own checklist of things. So hopefully I'll be qualified as a lawyer by in a few months to a year or so. Don't really know how that timeline looks because COVID did slow things down.
Absolutely.
But experience after that, and then just keep on keeping on with the lawyer dream. In terms of the supportive boyfriend role, just following in her footsteps, and helping her out wherever I could, enjoying life wherever I can. And
absolutely.
It'll just be a fun experience.
You heard it here, folks. So this is Jay and Sarah Wickett from the new music video that's going to be out. It's called Mama's Boy, which will be playing really shortly. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. This is Prashanth from Canadian Music as part of Awaz Entertainment. Thank you for tuning in. Please feel free to subscribe to us on Facebook and subscribe to our channel and keep watching Canadian Mosaic, and we will see you real shortly in about a week from now. Thank you so much and have a nice, great rest of the day, and always keep inspiring, learning, and growing. So thank you so much.
You call me babe, but it don't sound the same. Looking at your phone, and I know you're missing home, but it's getting old, feeling so alone. You're just a little too achieve one day, like something's up your sleeve one day, and I know it ain't me. So don't hold the key. I'm sick of trying to change your ways. There's gotta be some give and take, 'cause I'll be walking out. Seems like my language ain't your language anymore. My language ain't your language. I'm sick of trying to change your